Welcome to Living in Beauty. Join us, Jim and Carmen Bobo, as we prepare to depart in summer of 2016 on a full-time Airstream adventure. Don't take us for experts. If you're just learning about RVing or Airstreaming, well, so are we. But we're hoping newbies and pros will check in once a week and find out what we're up to and tell us if we're on the right track. Okay, let's begin with the rig. We've had, more than a dozen vehicles over the years. And from the red 65 Mustang convertible Chanticleer to the 2001 Honda CR-V, Nubs, we named each to suit their personalities. So, when last year we acquired an Airstream trailer and a Ram truck for our 40th anniversary, we named them Beauty and the Beast. Now, the Google honest truth is, we just found out that we are by far not the first to name our rig Beauty and the Beast. A story not so much about beauty as it is about relationship. No wonder. The perfect symbiosis of a big old truck getting hitched to a long, pretty trailer is mighty sexy imagery. And for us, the French tail wraps it all up in a double bow. But let me tell you, christening these enormous machines, which we know next to nothing about, doesn't come cheap in California. All the way to the DMV, we were asking ourselves why. What does it matter? Why do people put names to things, places, events, everything, even a weather aberration that can flatten a trailer like ours into what resembles a giant chewing gum wrapper? Whew. There, I said it. Name the fear, and it won't come true. All I know is, whether it's a charm to protect or a secret language, naming is ritual, folks. Don't judge. Yep, we're newbies to the RV community. I didn't even know a trailer is a vehicle until the DMV straightened me out. Though Beauty is dependent on an auxiliary motor for transport, her wheels are a method for conveyance. And we certainly do find her moving. So much that soon she will be our exclusive home while traveling full-time. 2 years ago, Jim and I began a discussion about going lighter through life, holding fewer and dearer possessions. As caregivers for over 13 years, our travel had been limited to staycations for Jim and me traveling alone to visit my folks in Mississippi. When, within months of each other, our mothers passed, we decided to plan a period of serious, long-term travel and saw nothing in our way except our jobs, 2 houses, our own health issues, and a 4-car garage packed floor to ceiling with things we somehow forgot along the way to donate or sell. We had to lighten up. The plan was not to stress over it or put a strain on our daily lives, but to slowly and steadily release enough ballast to shake up our wieldy nest and nudge ourselves gently into flight. Do not mistake this transition for bravery. We're running toward what we hope is a simpler life. We do not expect the vagabond life will increase our days, but it should give us more time to do what we want. Last time I checked, hiking, cycling, and kayaking are preferable to the burden of home maintenance and repair. As we hit the 40-year mark this April on home ownership, after 4 fixer-up houses, we're more than ready to try something else for a while. Other than maybe 5 boxes in storage and thousands of personal documents and photos, which are now all scanned and in the cloud, our worldly possessions will be limited to a truck, a trailer, and what we can fit into or onto them. As for towing thousands of pounds of steel down the road, do not fear for us or for yourselves. We have been practicing. Since last summer, we've logged 2,500 successful towing miles and completed several campground site tests. Full-time launch is imminent, folks. In summer of 2016, we will drive away from Coronado, California, our home for the past 20 years, and get a move on. Our public communication to friends and family and interested parties about our location, future plans, well-being, activities, and adventures will be found here. The most important fact you should know is no matter how far apart we are, this blog is a way to keep up with you. Who knows? We might even grow closer. How big's your driveway? Where are we going? We don't have a clue. This is our version of a walkabout, a path to discovery, a way to usher in our senior years. Of course, we hope our journey leads us to the wisdom of the ages. But until then, interesting watering holes are a high priority. Microbreweries, wineries, distilleries. Go ahead, call it a long, long happy hour. But natural hot springs and public and private gardens are also entered into our GPS. Depending on the weather, anywhere and everywhere is up for grabs. We may venture north to Canada, Alaska, or down south to visit our ancestral lands of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. And if I can talk Jim into it, maybe even Mexico. But I suspect we'll be drawn toward places we somehow missed in our youth. Your suggestions are our ongoing request. Check in from time to time, or enter in your email address and click the follow button at the top right. You know, our jobs never required much travel, and when we were young, we usually spent our getaway time and money hopping cheap flights overseas for cycling vacations, tent camping our way around the Loire Valley of France and Canada's Prince Edward Island. To us, snarky youngsters that we were, the RV life was a clumsy, extravagant, roadhog way to kill cyclists quickly by clipping them or knocking them off slowly with diesel fumes. As good cycling, recycling citizens from the early 50s, in our early 60s, we had planned this year's big purchase to be an electric car. But beauty changed all that. At least our 2014 Ram 2500 has clean diesel technology with seat and steering wheel warmers to earn him a more than generous parking place in our hearts, even though everywhere else in town is quite a squeeze. Beauty and the Beast. The B&B isn't just a way to haul our bed, WC, and coffee press behind us. The 2001 Airstream Excella provides a radical way for us to live small and range wide, to venture out in an intentionally disconnected, ungrounded, and directionless way, while remaining connected to our careers, board work for Jim, voiceover for me, and active in our education and vocations. She is our liberation machine, LIB, living in beauty. Our Rancho La Plata, a 30-foot silver sanctum decked out in solid oak, stainless steel, and aluminum appointments, which somehow managed to address every inconvenience, ritual, and pleasure of living while human. Beautifully. She's precisely what we need in these exciting yet vulnerable days. And Aluma Mama. We can easily see ourselves living in beauty for as long as she'll have us. Thanks for joining me and Jim at Living in Beauty. Special thanks to Larry Cook for his advice, generosity, and support, Denise Jones for blog consultation, and Long Long Honeymoon for giving us feedback and advice when purchasing our Airstream. And thank you, Ellen B. Perry, my daddy, and my brother Chris Perry for towing the rig from Alabama to Mississippi. It wouldn't have happened without you.